Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm George Connolly with Scratch Golf Tips, and today we're going to be looking in at one of my practice sessions that I recently did on the range. In the context of this practice session is I am a normal fader of the golf ball, but I wanted to work a little bit on my draw trajectory. So I'm going to walk you through how I go about trying to feel out a draw when practicing on the driving range. So for me on the driving range, it's always important to segment different aspects of what I'm trying to do. What I mean by that is when I'm hitting a draw, there's a few different things I have to do. I have to change my takeaway, my setup, my swing path, all of that. And it's very easy to get overwhelmed when you have multiple things to do in order to get an outcome. So I break them down one by one. So here you can see a few takeaway rehearsals. And basically all I'm focusing with the takeaway is I want it to be a little bit wider than normal. I feel like personally, when I don't have a wide takeaway, I come in a little bit too close, and that leads to steepness through my transition, and then that will create an over-the-top swing and a little bit of a fade. So I'm doing a few rehearsals. These are not dissimilar to what a lot of golfers do in their normal pre-shot routine, like JT or Schauffele. They always do a little rehearsal. So I'm doing that, and then I'm just really working on getting that exaggerated feel for the takeaway. Now, all of these shots are not necessarily drawing, because right now the takeaway is the only aspect that I'm working on. But as long as I'm feeling that takeaway feel wider, and obviously if you're recording video, you can look back and you can see, okay, I am going a little bit wider. That's not the only piece of the puzzle, but it's an important one. And because it's not the only piece of the puzzle, I don't really care that much if the ball is drawing. All I want is that wide takeaway and solid ball striking. And again, this wide takeaway does feel, a little bit unnatural, so I am going to hit a few bad golf shots. I'm not going to hit them all well. Throughout this practice, I'm certainly not going to hit them all well. So now as I've done some more swings with that takeaway, feeling a little bit wider, I'm feeling just a little bit more comfortable. So now I'm going to work on adjusting the next thing that I need to hit my draw ball flight. The next aspect of it is shallowing out the swing and having an in to out swing path, which is something that for me has never come naturally. So inherently, I have to really over exaggerate it. As you see in these practice swings, it looks like I'm trying to hook the ball, which for me, that's what I like to feel. I like to feel as though I'm kind of hitting a hook, and I'm just trying to get shallow. And I've talked about feel versus real in videos before, but however shallow I am trying to feel, I don't end up being that shallow. For me, a very shallow feel is fairly neutral because I am inherently a little bit steep in transition. Now that I have that takeaway down and now that I have that shallow feeling, I can feel both of those in my swing, and I can move on to the next thing. If you're not quite there, I can't say, do 5 swings with this, do 5 swings with this, do 5 swings with... That's not how it works. It's whatever feels right. Once it clicks with you, or once you feel confident in those swings, that's when you can move forward on to the next aspect. So for me, that next aspect is upper body and lower body rotation. For me, I feel like my upper body has to be much more active, especially through the ball, through the impact position, to hit that draw. And you may be wondering, George, how do you find these different things that allow you to feel the draw? And it quite simply comes from practice. I've tried to hit a draw a lot. There have been, a few months of my golfing where I have actually predominantly hit the draw, but it comes with experimentation and frankly, a little bit of frustration because a normal range routine, I'll hit the balls pretty solidly. I'll obviously chunk and thin a few of them. But when you're working on something different, I feel like for the majority of that range session, the majority of your shots hit will not be well struck because you're a little bit uncomfortable. But anyway, back to the swings. I've got that upper body rotation, and now the only thing that I have left to really focus on is the release of the club. Another swing feel that I need to sequence that kind of draw is to get in front, cover the ball, and then I really like to feel my right hand, most specifically my right thumb and palm, be very strong on the grip, especially through impact. And the stronger the right thumb and the palm is for me, the more I can close down that club face and get that draw ball flight. So now before all of these swings, I have a sequence of things that I'm thinking of fairly subconsciously. I'm not actively thinking of all of these things while I swing, but I've already gone over my takeaway. I've gone over my move through transition, my shallowing move. I've gone through my upper body rotation and releasing the club face. So now the only thing that comes from here is just playing around with different shots and getting comfortable. So I put the ball back in the stance. I have a lower finish, trying to hit some lower draws, try and get some higher draws up in the air. Now that all of the sequence is there, my main goal is just to get comfortable with it, and that's by playing around. So I hope these clips and the commentary attached to it can give you some nice insights, not only on how you can hit a draw, especially from someone who normally hits a fade, but also great insights on what it's like to practice and have meaningful change in your golf swing. Because there are a lot of times when people just go to the range and they whack 30 balls for 10 minutes and then they just go off and nothing really changed. And that's fine if you want to just become more comfortable, you're not trying to look for swing changes, that's fine. But if you want better results, you want a better swing, you're going to have to put in work like this. Thank you all very much for watching. We appreciate all the support that we've been getting on the YouTube channel recently. If you want to see more content like this, as well as swing analysis and general golf instruction, feel free to subscribe to the Scratch Golf Tips YouTube channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like rating so YouTube can help show this video to more people who will find it helpful. Thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.